the Palam airport, where the mortal remains of India's Chief of Defence Staff, General Bipin Rawat, his wife Madhulika Rawat, and 11 others who lost their lives as a result of that chopper crash in the southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu. General Bipin Rawat was traveling in that chopper along with his wife when it unfortunately crashed. This was in the southern state of Tamil Nadu yesterday. An inquiry has now been launched into that crash. The cause is not known yet. The last rites of India's Chief of Defence Staff will be conducted tomorrow in the national capital, where the mortal remains have now arrived. A tri-service inquiry into the cause of the crash has now been ordered, while tributes have been pouring in not just from across India but across the world, remembering the contribution of General Bipin Rawat to India's forces when it comes to the integration of the forces as the first Chief of Defence Staff. The country's topmost military officer succumbed to his injuries after the chopper he was travelling in crashed just about 10 minutes before it was due to arrive. This was in the southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu. The Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be leading tributes while paying homage to the Indian Chief of Defence Staff, whose mortal remains have arrived at the Palam airbase. The last rites of the Indian Chief of Defence Staff will be conducted tomorrow in the national capital. His mortal remains, along with the mortal remains of his wife Madhulika Rawat, will be placed at their residence till about 2 p.m, post which they will be taken to the crematorium. India's Chief of Defence Staff will be laid to rest with full military honours. General Bipin Rawat, his wife and 11 others passed away as a result of that tragic chopper crash yesterday, post which an inquiry, a tri-service inquiry, has now been launched to ascertain the cause of the crash, while tributes have been trickling in from across India and from across the world. The Indian Prime Minister will soon be paying tributes to the Chief of Defence Staff. Early in the morning, the flight data recorder of that chopper, the Mi-17 V5 military chopper, was also recovered, and a tri-service inquiry has been ordered to ascertain the cause of the crash. The mortal remains of General Rawat and his wife arriving in the national capital. The last rites will be performed on Friday at Delhi Cantonment. The Chief of Defence Staff will be laid to rest with full military honours. Their bodies will be placed at their residence, post which they will be taken to the crematorium. India's first Chief of Defence Staff, his contribution to the forces when it comes to the integration of the forces, the 26th Chief of Army Staff and a veteran of counter-insurgency warfare, a man who changed the face of the UN's peacekeeping mission in Congo. Just some of the key highlights of that illustrious career and the legacy left behind by General Bipin Rawat. A glorious career that spanned more than 4 decades. As India mourns the death of General Bipin Rawat, tributes have been pouring in also from across the world, remembering General Rawat and his contributions. These are the latest images that we are getting to you from the Palam airport in the national capital. where the mortal remains of India's Chief of Defence Staff, General Bipin Rawat, have now arrived, and the Indian Prime Minister will be leading the paying of the tributes